Okay, so you go to USC.
So I go to USC,
scholarship,
yeah.
You make your dad really proud.
Make him proud. And then I get literally redshirted. Redshirting means you're pretty much cut for that year on the volleyball team. And
so is it like kind of benched?
Benched, yeah, that's a good way to put it. I was so disappointed. I went to USC for one thing, to play volleyball. Like, this was my life. You know, I grew up playing the sport, and they cut me.
Why?
Benched me because they said, first of all, I was playing behind an All-American, Brooke Billings, who's an Olympic volleyball player, probably the best USC's ever seen. And I was playing behind him, and I wasn't going to see any time unless he got hurt. And my coach says, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna need you to work on your vertical jump and your arm strength." And I was like, "What do you mean, man?" He says, "The guy in front of you is 6'6", and his vertical jump's 42 inches. He goes, "Yours is only 36 inches, and you're 6'3". He says, "You got to jump a little higher." So I remember that day I was devastated, right? I was like, man, feels like when my mom left, now my volleyball team's leaving me.
Oh.
And I remember I said, "Okay, I'm going to show you, coach." And I went down to Gold's Gym in Redondo Beach, and I found the biggest bodybuilder there. And I said, "Man, the coach cut me." I said, "I don't care what I got to do, but he wants me to work on my arm strength and my vertical jump." And this bodybuilder looked at me and says, "You want to do it the legal way or the illegal way?" I said, "Whatever's the fastest."
Did you know what he meant by illegal way?
I knew it was something with performance-enhancing drugs, right? Like, yeah. I'm no dummy. I'm an athlete. Right. And
did you go there for that?
Yeah, I went there for that. Right, I knew. I was determined. Like, I was devastated. Like, how are you going to cut me from the sport I grew up playing my whole life and telling me I'm not good enough?
Did you know other people in the team? Were there other people using steroids at the time?
Not on the volleyball team, no. But at other sports levels, yeah, of course. Right. And I remember he says, "Hey, you got money?" I go, "I don't got money. My dad's a construction worker." He says, "Well, if you don't have money, I suggest you go to the Tijuana border and go to a pharmacia or a veterinarian." I'm like, "Okay." I said, "Give me the list," right? And he gave me a list with everything: Decadurabol and testosterone, Winstrol, Anamor. And I got this list, and I literally drove down to Tijuana. I parked on the San Ysidro side in San Diego and walked across that bridge. Remember that bridge?
Yeah, I've been there. I've walked across that bridge too for very different reasons.
Yes. So I walked across that bridge. I brought one of my friends, my Hispanic friends from home, from a gang called Northside Redondo Gang, and I knew he spoke Spanish. So at the time I was young. I was 18 years old. I didn't speak enough Spanish. You know, here and there, hola, ¿qué tal? Like little stuff, right? And he comes with me, and we get in this taxi, and we give him the address and pull into this veterinarian, and you see all these big American dudes, like buff dudes. I'm like, this is the place, right? And I go to the lady, I'm like trying to speak Spanish to her, and she speaks perfect English. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is the spot I need to be at. She literally gives me everything, and I start putting it in bags, and I'm like, okay, I'm rolling it up. I got like vials of testosterone, vials of Winstrol, Decadurabol, and Sustanon, all these different steroids. And then I got pills. I'm like dumping them in the bag, and I'm like, fuck, how am I going to get this back? So I wrap it all up. I get some medical tape, and I'm taping it. And I literally go in the bathroom, and I put it, I keistered it, not in the hole, but the crack, right? And I have my compressor shorts on.
Wait, the crack of your ass?
Yes.
Okay, your butt crack.
Yeah,
sorry,
butt
this
crack.
Is a nicer way to say it.
Yeah, butt crack.
Butt crack.
And I always tell people, not the hole, just the crack,
just
right?
The crack.
To get your mind out of the gutter, right? And I was like, this is the only way I'm going to bring it back. It's not like I can just walk across the border. And, you know, the first thing they're going to ask, and they do ask, is are you bringing anything back? And I remember waiting in that customs line for 2 hours, just waiting, right? And I got this thing in my crack. And the first time ever, Mariana, they asked me, "Are you bringing anything back from Mexico?" And I've never lied. I came from this family. My dad's so strict, I would never, ever lie. I had morals and ethics, right? And I lied for the first time. And I said, "No, officer, I'm not. I was just at Papa's and beer, having some beers and eating some tacos," right? And I lied, right? First time I've ever lied. And he says, "Welcome back to America." And I literally had goosebumps when I crossed this. I said, oh my God, I just broke the law. I just smuggled something into America, and I lied. And that for the rest of my life, until my arrest in 2015, I chased that rush.
Oh, so it was a good feeling. The goosebumps.
I don't say it was a good feeling. I mean, it was a type of feeling that you don't know you have until you've been down that path of illegal activity.
Right. And you wanted that again, I guess.
I wanted it again. And then eventually I'm smuggling a ton of cocaine for the cartel into countries like Australia and Canada and, you know, Italy. And that feeling just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And you're just chasing that rush.
It's interesting to me, you know, this is where I think like men's brains are so different than women, and why this there's so many more men involved in drug trafficking business than women, even though there are women as well, and I've reported on that. But there's something about, I've been in situations where I've been incredibly close to danger or risky situations, and then I've been able to get out. And yes, there's an enormous pleasure and high from being able to get out of that situation. But I've never wanted to go back to a similar situation. Like, people ask me if I do the kind of work I do because I'm chasing this adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
And no, absolutely not. I do it because I'm incredibly curious about these worlds, and it's not about adrenaline for me. And actually, the idea, even now that I'm thinking back at some of the situations I've been in, it's almost like it's bad memories, not something that I'd want to chase. So it's interesting to me that I don't think I've ever heard anyone describe it the way you just did.
Yeah. I think being an athlete, I'm this adrenaline junkie, right?
Right.
And I now speak to kids and college athletes now and tell them, like, this all started in just this little thing, minimal, like little $300 worth of steroids. And it just kept building and building. And as an athlete, we're competitive. We want to win. We want to beat the system, right? And that's what it is for me. Well,
I'm competitive too, even though I'm not an athlete. Okay, so $300 worth, which was probably a big investment for you at the time.
Yeah,
right?
It was a lot.
Did you know how to use it? Did you know?
I didn't have a clue, and I literally get back to America now, and I'm in Redondo Beach, where my hometown, and I'm back at Gold's Gym. I'm like, okay, tell me how to do it. He's like, okay, 1 cc of this, 1 cc of this. You're gonna put it in your butt. It's gonna be 4 inches below your belt line, and I'm like learning it all on the fly.
Wow.
I'm 18 years old.
Oh, shit.
But I'm determined, right? I'm 19 years old. It was my sophomore year. I'm determined. I got to get back on this team. And just literally 3 weeks later, I'm just getting jacked.
Really? You're noticing it that fast?
Huge, yeah. All I got now is time to go to the gym because I'm not playing volleyball. So I'm in there like 3 hours a day. I'm eating protein. I'm eating eggs, raw. I'm just chicken breast, you name it. I'm eating it. And all of a sudden, I just start to explode, and I become the size of your typical like tight end, right? And
the Hulk.
The Hulk, yeah. And I remember one of the volleyball strength and conditioning coaches. His name was Char, and he was the strength and condition coach for the volleyball team, and he was the strength and condition coach for the men's football team. And he saw me one day. I was just bench pressing like 225, which is 2 plates on each side, and it was like nothing. I was on the sauce. No one knew that I was on the sauce.
On the sauce.
He says, hey, Hanson, what's going on, man? He goes, aren't you playing volleyball? I said, Coach, they fucking redshirted me. I'm bummed out, man. He says, Hanson, you look like a tight end right now. You know that they need some help in the tight end unit at USC football. I'm like, man, miss me, Coach. I've never played football in my life. He said, Hanson, you are an athlete. Why don't you just try out? They got to try out in a week. Wow. And I said, you know what, Char? I got nothing to lose, right? Why don't I try out? So I literally show up to tryouts. There's 50 guys. 25 of them are from junior varsity or junior college All-Americans, right? And then the other 25 are All-American high school players, right? And then here I am, this volleyball player. Everyone's wearing cleats, and I show up with my volleyball shoes. I'm like, I fucked this one up, right? And I literally, they have me catch 5 balls, and I think I catch like 3 out of the 5 I catch, right? And they show the vertical jump, and I already know I'm a volleyball player, so that's easy. Boom, 36 inches. And now they're like, okay, we're going to do a 40. And everyone's running 40s. And next thing you know, I'm like the second to last guy, and they got the stopwatch. And I just take off, and I'm 4.6, which is very fast. It's like unheard of. They're like, nah, something's wrong. They sent me back. Yeah, they thought it was a mistake in like the stopwatch. They did it again, 4.62. And then now you see all these coaches, Pete Carroll, Norm Chow, Coach Sarkisian, and all these big coaches coming together, and they're talking. Like, what's going on? And then they're like, okay, guys, our last exercise is back in Heritage Hall in the gym. We're going to do the bench press. And listen, no one knows I'm on the sauce, right? So I'm going, I'm like, oh, this is my baby right here. And I get in there, and I'm the last guy now. And they're just looking at me. I'm like, okay. I'm bouncing it off my chest like it's nothing. 24, 25, 26. Whoa. And I rack it 26 times is like an NFL combine.
Oh,
it's like
God.
Unheard of. It's like guys that go to the NFL bench that. And now I got all their attention. And I don't think anything of it. I was like, okay, that was fun. I tried out, right? I'm not going to make the team. 4 days later come, and Coach Char says, hey, Hanson, go check the list. Pete Carroll has a list out, and it's got the guys that made it. I'm like, all right, I'll go check it. I'm thinking there's no way, right? I go, and all these guys, disappointing faces, all the guys that I was trying out are walking out. And I get to the list, and it has one name, and it's my name. It says Owen Hanson.
Shit.
A guy that's never played football in his life just walked on to the dynasty. I mean, this is the team that won 2 national championships, 28-1. We've never had a team like that ever,
Right.
back to back.
Right.
And I was part of it.